off.
I didn't pull it off. Okay, put this back in. We're not doing it.
That's more like it.
Do I have lights on in this car? No.
Some wipers.
I'm gonna get some wipers on.
You have your wipers?
On the right hand side.
You have your wipers?
It's coming down.
It's coming down.
In the world of information, market barons are rapacious and hate the idea of sharing. A psychological prerequisite must be an unhappy childhood. It's a heavy disappointment when an organization realizes that it's being prevented from doing what it does best, all because of a meddling bunch who have no idea of how efficiently the information agents operate. Market barons were all about their own bottom line. One last shindig held at field headquarters. The mood of the evening was melancholy, but the information agents can find humor even in the face of total career annihilation. It's a necessary skill to maintain one's sanity during topsy-turvy times. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Wesley Kipper, and I've risen to the rank of Section K2 Manager, which increased my travel for each month tenfold. A decent night's sleep was hard to come by, but the work was satisfying. My loyal team of information agents stuck close during the corporate takeover. Big Money shouted its arrival, flexed its muscle through personnel cutbacks and the threat of more to come. The market barons had been scoping out the information agency ever since learning that we had been turning on average a 28% upswing in profits per quarter. Once becoming the section manager, I helped profits spike an additional 4%. I was the agency's hero, never ceasing to hunt for more information, more sales, more and more. Everyone's a potential customer. Good fortune comes and goes. It was shining bright the day I received a nervous telecom from Weber Hollandaise, a junior market baron working under the two top seniors, Sasha and Seelham. Sasha was the coldest of them all. Weber's responsibility was to finish the algorithms for product placement that were formulated by Sasha and Seelham. As a side scheme, Sasha suggested to Seelham that their top factory should manufacture faulty merchandise, claimed the defects were caused by a sociopathic repairman who had sabotaged all the machines. They'd file an insurance claim, pocket the money, then ship the defective merchandise overseas to a gullible foreign country in desperate enough need of these items that they sidestep any inspection and hop right into purchase mode, buying the items at double their original price. Smart lady. She always did the driving. Weber Hollandaise filled me in regarding the travel schedule for Sasha and Seelham. I also hit the road so that I could keep close watch and compile a complete list of the lousy inventories of warehouses they were visiting. While I was on the road, the information agents packed up the old field headquarters and moved into a new space that was filled with bulkier computer systems than they were used to working with. The information agents tended to do just fine with powerful laptops and handheld comlinks. When the information agents suggested by way of a memo to the senior market barons about switching back the equipment to clandestine sizes, Sasha and Seelham responded with a single blunt statement: "Keep your opinions to yourself. Speak when spoken to." Weber Hollandaise was beginning to fear for his life. If Sasha and Seelham were to discover his communications with me, Weber knew he'd be eliminated quickly and cleanly. The market barons had ways to make sure a departed person's sudden disappearance would never be questioned. I got the K2 information agents involved. They raided the old field headquarters for a few nights to set up a defensive operation. They gathered data from wiretaps and vidcams of noted hitmen and hitwomen who were often recruited to take out whistleblowers and all-around loudmouths when the stakes were high. The market barons saw it as being proactive. I was already swamped with tracking the warehouse inventories item by item so that I could blackmail Sasha and Seelham with fake threatening notes about how I was a high-ranking judge who was planning a federal sting. I would demand a disgusting amount of cash just to get Sasha and Seelham rattling. I had sympathy for Weber's position. It's a rotten feeling to have to constantly look over your shoulder and worry about your mortality at every given moment. Will I make it to my next vacation? Will I make it to dinner time? In the decades prior, becoming an information agent hadn't been life-threatening. It was a career that merged being a detective with being a tech head. A myriad of skills is still required, but the market barons won't hesitate to put you in the literal line of fire if it means acquiring the right data along with the right chunk of currency. I was able to locate what appeared to be the most secretive of the storage facilities. This wasn't a warehouse for all to see. This was underground and chock full of defective items that had been synthetically aged, adding further to their worthless state. Sasha and Seelham had no scruples and were living the high life because of this moral detachment. The underground facility also served as a fully functioning office. Renadata calligraphs were actively processed and transmitted. I saw response reports printing out, footnoted, and highlighted. The transaction details were flowing freely as well. The market barons were closing vibrant deals left and right. Everything was automated. No employees necessary. Zero hassle, all profit. Sasha and Seelham had hired freelance field agents that would wander the neighborhood and collect information. These field agents had no track record. They were offered no benefits aside from quick, modest cash. Luckily, I had an intrusion detector wired just under my skin at the base of my skull. It picked up on any nearby ambushes being planned. Any radio or electronic communication could be intercepted and interpreted. The intrusion detector knew the difference between kids messing around on a set of walkie-talkies and a plan being set to erase a certain individual from the face of the planet, namely myself. I needed to get running. The intrusion detector transmitted images of Sasha and Seelham pulled over on the side of the road with an energy rifle pressed against the head of Weber Hollandaise, putting the situation into sharp focus for the poor guy. He was to head over to the underground facility at the end of the block, tackle me in full sight of everybody on the street, and let me have it with the same energy rifle that was presently threatening his own existence. I had no hard feelings against Weber. He was a human being, caught between a hard choice and annihilation. Sasha drove Seelham at a maniac speed, away from the showdown that took place between me and Weber Hollandaise, heading to some other secret panacea already prepped for such emergencies, knowing their reputations were well on their way for ruination. As Weber rushed me, I tried elbowing him to the ground, but he quickly had the energy rifle against my head. "I'm their prisoner," said the pitiful junior market baron, before my K2 information agent team tackled Weber, causing the energy rifle to go off, sending Weber Hollandaise backward into the darkness. Needless to say, I was exhausted.